Hey, thanks for staying with us. Joining us now is Todd T.J. Stein, community advocate. He's been here before. You know, I told you the first time you were here, Todd, I wanted you to come back because we had a tremendous response to our show about seniors. And you are the sole caretaker of your 90-year-old mom. She'll be 91 in March. And a lot of New Yorkers are living with the same thing you're living with, trying to navigate how to care for their parents.
Navigation is very difficult.
Yeah.
There are so many things, components, whether it's just finding the caregivers that you can rely on, to making sure that the actual adult has the dignity and that they are able to have a life outside even when they don't have the same mobility and independence.
Exactly. And guardianship is a big issue that you've been dealing with and trying to spread information about. Tell us more.
Well, there's no national database, and that is a reform that I would love to see happen, where we're able to identify on a national level where and how the guardianships are taking place. In my father's case, which he was in a unwarranted guardianship, there's a team and they work together, and it's a legal way to take assets. And so you need to see that the judges have the lawyers, the guardians, and the evaluators all working together. And it's just a frightening number.
It is.
There's over billions of dollars every year that are taken from these individuals who are considered wards of the state. They are considered incapacitated. My father wasn't incapacitated. He was not. He never met the judge. It was to protect him.
Right. And this is an issue that so many people deal with. How do you protect the assets of your loved ones in their golden years, during their golden years?
Well, first of all, we know that the Britney Spears case has brought a lot of attention.
Right.
The Wendy Williams situation right now, these are situations that are high profile.
And they're not even seniors.
They're not seniors, and that's a good point, Cheryl. We know that guardianship can take place at any time, but with seniors, there's the issue that, are they mentally able to make their own decisions? And unfortunately, many are. And they get placed into these situations when there's family issues, people are fighting, people want the money, and only one family member really is left, in my case, to take care. As you said, I'm the sole caregiver.
Yeah. You know, many seniors, sometimes they can be resistant to long-term care because sometimes in their heart, they still think they're able to do what they've always done. How do you deal with that very fragile issue of getting someone to understand it's time for you to let go of the steering wheel, if you will?
And in that situation, getting the keys from my dad, that was a very hard conversation. That was taking away his independence. But I kind of had to go at it with Dad, you don't want to hurt somebody else.
Right.
You're not on a street knowing that your reflexes are not as good as they were. So in my, experience, I had to pick the battles of when to have the conversations and really approach it in a loving way.
Right. And many are sometimes resistant to long-term planning, but it is essential to protect your assets and your health.
If you don't have a conversation with your parent, sometimes you just have to step in.
Right.
And that's what I had to do.
Yeah.
My parents were both independent. They both have elder abuse. I had to say, it's time you think about the future. They resisted it.
Yeah.
And it was not easy. And then it was a crisis management situation in both cases.
Yeah.
My mother had the massive stroke. She was on life support. I didn't know her passcodes to the bank. She was taking care of everything. She was working up to 80. It was very hard for me to figure out how to be able to take care of the things that power of attorney.
Right.
Proxy.
Healthcare proxy.
Yeah. There are forms, there are DNAs, there's living wills. They all have different situations that you need to have in place. And you have to have somebody that you could trust.
Right.
And that's the scary
That's the
part.
scary part.
Who are you going to trust?
Who do you trust in the world of scammers, right?
Exactly.
And, you know, very quickly, some signs of elder abuse, because that's a tough conversation.
You have to look. You have to see it. You have to ask.
But what are you looking for?
Well, you want to ask the questions. Are they being isolated? Are they being able to see their friends? Are they being able to see their family? In my case, I wasn't able to see my father, and it was a situation of almost like a Stockholm situation. You know, it's isolate, medicate, and then asset removal. Those are the things that you have to look for. And you need to really be aware. Ask questions. Don't be afraid.
Yeah, don't be afraid and have the tough conversation. Todd T.J. Stein, I know you're making a movie about your dad and what happened. So
You know it.
Yeah, I'm going to have you back when you get that project done.
The final fight.
Yes, the final fight.
He was a boxer.
Yes, yes.
A Brooklyn boy.
Yeah, yeah. It's going to be a powerful movie. It's going to inform a lot of people.
Thank you. And thank you for having me again.
Of course.
Both of us being Orange. We're both Syracuse grads,
Yes.
and we have a great connection on these issues. I know you do with your mom.
Absolutely.
And I'm so grateful to be here.
Oh, it's my honor to have you. I think
Thanks.
this was a conversation where people learned a lot from you. Thank you.
Great.